Okay, so this is a maths tutorial video where I'll be taking two sums and I'll go through them in fine detail in hope that you'll understand them. So our first question, I will be dealing with depreciation. Okay, so just to start off, I drew up some notes to help you understand what depreciation is. So to get the depreciation value of a car or house, etc., we simply, number one, multiply the initial value, so the initial value of the item by the percentage of its depreciation. So the initial value by the percentage, okay? Number two, once you work out the value of depreciation, minus the new value from the initial value. So you're minusing the new value from the initial value to discover the actual worth of the item. So you can continue this method for further depreciations if you have any, okay? So our question is, the cost of a car depreciates by 11% a year. What will a car currently priced at €37,500 be worth in a year's time? So we're given four answers, A, B, C or D. So to start off, we have to get the depreciation value. So how do we get this? So we multiply the percentage by the initial depreciation value. So we're multiplying the 11%, which is 0.11 in this case, by the 37,500. And this will give us our new depreciation value, which is 4,125. So we're not finished here. We have to minus this new depreciation value from the original value to get the value of the car after 1 year. So we're minusing the 4,125 from the 37,500 to give us 33,375. And this is the value of the car, okay? So therefore our answer is D. So I hope that helped. And our next question, we will be dealing with calculus and differentiation and maximum points. So again, like before, I drew up some notes, except this time it's differentiation notes. So when differentiating a function with x to the power of a number, bring the power down and multiply by the constant in front of the x. So for example, 2x squared is equal to 4x. But how did we get this? We brought down the power, in this case is 2, and multiplied it by the constant, which is also 2, and 2 by 2 is 4. So this gave us the 4, and the power, you have to minus 1 away from it. So the x becomes x to the power of 1. So that would be 4x to the power of 1, which is essentially 4x, okay? So constants are always equal to 0 when differentiated, so they're always equal to 0. And when you're looking for max and min points, you differentiate f of x, and then determine whether f of x, when you double differentiate it, is greater or less than 0. So if the double differentiate is greater than 0, this gives you a minimum point. So if it's greater, it gives you a minimum. And if it's less than 0, it gives you a maximum, okay? So going on to our question, which word and number correctly fill the blanks in the following sentence? The function f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 21x minus 77 has a local blank point at x is equal to blank. So again, like before, we're given four answers, A, B, C or D. So going on to our question, firstly we have to differentiate the function, okay? So we're differentiating 3x squared plus 21x minus 77. So keep in mind the notes that I showed you before the question. So when we're differentiating this, we have to multiply the 3 by the squared number, which is 2 in this equation, and all the powers of x come down to multiply the constant in front of the x. And essentially all the numbers in the equation are losing a power of the degree 1, okay? So 3x squared plus 21x minus 77 becomes 6x plus 21. But where did the minus 77 go? So as minus 77, it is a constant. So when this is differentiated, it becomes 0. So all constants, when differentiated, become 0, okay? So we're not finished here. We have to find the max or min point. So to find the max or min, we have to double differentiate. We have to differentiate the 6x plus 21 again, okay? So 6x plus 21, like before, we drop the x in the 6x, and that becomes 6, and the plus 21 is equal to 0 because it is a constant. So 6x is greater than 0, and this is our second derivative. And if the second derivative is a positive, the function gives a minimum turning point, okay? So if the second derivative is greater than 0, it is minimum, okay? So going on to our turning points, to determine our turning point, we have to use our first derivative, which we already have, and is 6x plus 21. So you have to let the 6x plus 21 equal to 0, and then we use some simple algebra to find the value of x. So to find the value of x, we take 21 from both sides, leaving us with a negative 21 on the right hand side. So 6x is equal to minus 21. Then we simply divide both sides by 6 and we have our x value. So you're dividing both sides by 6, and when you do this, our x value is equal to minus 3.5. So we have determined that our x value is minus 3.5, which deduces that we have a turning point at minus 3.5. Therefore, to answer our question, the function 3x squared plus 21x minus 77 has a local minimum point at x is equal to minus 3.5. So going back to our question, our two answers were minimum and minus 3.5. Therefore, our answer is B. Okay, so I hope that helped, and thank you very much for listening.